Ever since Sasuke was a jit, Itachi always had that fit on and was a prodigy of the fashion industry, so naturally people look up to him, most notably his brother Sasuke. However, something snapped in Itachi that night, leading to him alt F4ing his whole clan, including the drip. Sasuke, now kinda homeless and left with no garments, swore to outdrip his big bro. Graduating out of Konoha's A-level textile course, Sasuke would be put on Team 7, consisting of him, Sakura, and Naruto, who will then be led by international designer Virgil Abloh. As time passed, they were then sent to a mission to escort Bob the Builder through a third world country who will build a Balenciaga-sponsored bridge for stable economic growth. Soon after though, they got jumped by some old money hidden mist ninjas, financed by an undisclosed organization to keep the third world country at its place. But that's not all, as after defeating them, Zabuza flamboyantly shows up trying to out-mock Kakashi with a slanted headband, topless calfskin bandage combo. However, little did Zabuza know Kakashi's wardrobe secret, his Nike contact, and he gets caught lacking, leaving Naruto and Sasuke to fight Zabuza, but they D-weighed and brought his ass anyway. So now, with Kakashi unleashed, he demonstrated the power of the Nike contact lenses, downing Zabuza, but before he would be put into spectator mode, Haku showed in the Adidas Oriental exclusive, saving Zabuza, making Team 7 victors of the first leg. Following the W, Sasuke and the squad set foot on the village, witnessing real poverty for the first time, with children being forced to make Sheen clothing, motivating them to protect Bob the Builder at all cost for the prosperity of the village. However, while the bridge was being built, a thick fog formed, declaring the second leg of the battle. Haku reveals his Kekkei Genkai, icy mirror flicks, blinding Sasuke with the amount of drip, but not to worry as his boyfriend comes to the rescue, then poses like Yamcha 15 seconds later, leaving Sasuke so stressed he awakened the Nike contact lenses, hitting the Yamcha pose 5 seconds later. Not to worry again as Naruto reboots, acquiring the Aura Cloak, turning him into 22-23 Real Madrid, knocking out Haku, leaving the next 45 minutes of the match to Kakashi and Zabuza, only for Haku to step in, saving his sorry ass again. Haku, now left with a whole Shulada can't fix, yaps about his depression, while Zabuza says some nonchalant. Hearing this, Sasuke's boyfriend conjures up a quote from Yves Saint Laurent, shouting, "I wish I invented blue jeans," making Zabuza drop the nonchalant act and slid for Haku. So he alt F4s the undisclosed organization, cementing himself as a hero, dying to save the unpaid workers. After that traumatic experience, Kakashi decided to double the trauma and suggested putting Team 7 into fashion bootcamp to reach the next level of the industry. Meanwhile, in the streets of Konoha, some hidden sand GMs appeared, G-checking Konohamaru, but not to worry as Sasuke aura farms, almost starting a fight, only for Gaara to lurk out the shadows, telling Kankuro to hold back while hitting the meanest pose which Sasuke stole 3 years later. Setting under different ways, Kakashi Kamui to Team 7, giving them an invitation to fashion bootcamp, making Sasuke smile as he thinks about running the fade with Gaara. As days passed, Team 7 entered the exam facility. However, Sasuke detected some gaslighting from these frauds and left the scene, only for Rock Lee to follow them, begging him to a walk-off. Sasuke humbly accepts, but gets dogged with the one-piece bandages Birkenstock combo, but the inventor of Lee's fit de-escalates the walk-off. Sasuke, holding that L, gets instigated by Naruto, but nonchalantly walks to the exam room with intentions on his mind. Now, in the exam room, Sasuke sits down to take his test, but found the questions a little too difficult, as it asked for complicated designs which were beyond his current skills. So, he theorizes that the questions are purposely designed this way to test the fashionista's ability to steal others' designs without getting caught. So he activates his Nike contact lenses, copying word for word and bar for bar what the other contestants were designing. With Sasuke flying through the questions, Ibiki, the proctor for this exam, adds an optional 10th question, which they can exit from, but answering it wrong locks the participant out of a career in fashion. So random started to head out, and with not much time, Ibiki still hasn't said the 10th question, leaving Sasuke's boyfriend to stand on business and tells Ibiki he will never back down and never give up, no matter how cruel the ladder to fashion was. Ibiki, hearing this, smiles, promptly telling everyone who stayed past the 10th question, surprising the whole room. He explains that the first 9 questions were to check the participants' ability to steal designs without getting caught, while the 10th question was to see how many toes they were willing to stand on to claim their designs were original, despite the blatant copying, as passing this test turns a great designer to a generational one. And Anko appears for the next part of Fashion Bootcamp. With Team 7 now passing the first exam, they continue on to the next round, where they need to find inspiration through nature. So Anko gives all the contestants a Polaroid, telling them to take Pinterest level worthy shots to advance to the next round. And after a while, Naruto got replaced discreetly, but Sasuke immediately figured out that this was not his man and looked for him. With Naruto now rescued, Sasuke creates a new password for the group in case any more imposters appear. With that in mind, they continue on, only for him to appear masquerading as Naruto. Sasuke, suspicious, asked the imposter for the password, who answered perfectly, but knowing his man, he knew he wouldn't remember, so attacked the imposter. However, he got caught in some extreme level gaslighting, and with the imposter in control, he burns Team 7's whole stack of photos. Luckily though, Sasuke wasn't buying it, so escaped with Sakura while Naruto was nowhere to be seen. The imposter then tracked him down, but not to worry as his boyfriend returns and gets eliminated again, this time trying to save Sasuke. Now left with no help, Sasuke still manages to turn the tides with his Uchiha drip, yet that still wasn't enough, and the imposter left a tattoo on him while saying that if he ever needs the right connections in the industry, he knows where to find him. That man would later be revealed as Orochimaru. But for now, with 2 members of Team 7 down, Sakura was left to defend them both, only for some SoundCloud rappers to show up. With Sakura having a weak closet, the SoundCloud rappers walked down on her easily. However, the whole of Konoha stepped in and still got rocked. But in the nick of time, Sasuke activated, using Orochimaru's tattoo, System 32 deleting one of the SoundCloud rappers' hand modeling career, making their squad leader hand over their pictures to Team 7. As days passed, Team 7 still felt that they didn't have a Pinterest-worthy level photo to hand. So, Kabuto, seeing this, puts Team 7 on and teaches them about composition, then capturing a nature pic so beautiful that Team 7 advances to the next round. After handing in the Pinterest level photos, Team 7 would make it onto the preliminaries, a random 1v1 walk-off with the winner advancing to the finals. So first up was Sasuke versus this grown man, where he got the edge on the start but became a little too excited and got his closet absorbed. Now with a limited amount of drip, Sasuke took Ibiki's words to heart and copied Lee's whole flow, turning it to fast fashion Zara garbage, winning the fight with no dignity. Following on that blatant plagiarism, Kakashi tried removing the tattoo Sasuke acquired, but Orochimaru would lurk out the shadows, threatening to call up his associates if Kakashi were to ever remove it. So on the Chunin exams went, and after the preliminaries, Sasuke would have an unsuspecting visit from Kabuto, who turned out to be an Orochimaru glazer, but was conflicted on one part as he wanted to betray him by eliminating Sasuke. However, he couldn't find the heart to do it. Hesitating on his actions, Kakashi storms in, so he leaves, still conflicted in his mind. With that, 1 month passed and Sasuke would be walking off against Gaara, who was the person he really wanted to run the fade with earlier. But before that, the other walk-offs ensued. So right after those legendary matches, it was now time for the main event, and with seconds to go, Kakashi and Sasuke teleported to the stage, aura farming, making the crowd go wild. But wait a sec. Sasuke took Lee's drip too, the one-piece bandages Birkenstock combo. No wonder why his brother left to gatekeep the garments. Anyways, with ripping off Lee's identity, Sasuke walked all over Gaara and made him hide in his closet, only for him to use his new designer clothes which he stole from his sensei, becoming the first person to outmog Gaara. Now, with his opponent crashing out, an unsuspecting explosion silenced the crowd, starting Konoha Crush. Konoha was now under attack, and with the third Hokage walking off against his former co-designer Orochimaru, all of the civilians were mysteriously put to sleep. And with Sasuke stuck in the stadium, he watched as chaos ensued. However, Gaara still had intentions in his mind, but with his garments and aura diminishing, his brand advisor told him to escape, as he would be vital to crush the leaf. So, with the Sand GMs now gone, Sasuke was left to fight their brand advisor, but Genma stepped in with that durag bulletproof vest combo so Sasuke can run the fade again. Now, chasing Gaara, his man along with Sakura, Shikamaru and Pakun went after as backup. Nearing catching Gaara, Sasuke would first have to outmug Temari, which he does with ease. Flashing back to the past, while Kakashi and Sasuke were shopping for garments in the upcoming finals, a dark aura was right behind them, which Kakashi spotted immediately. Gaara would put up his hands straight away, but before leaving, he would flirt with Sasuke, stating that they were alike as both are in search of drip, but also sharing the same pain through their eyes. Fast forwarding to the present, Gaara would have another crash out, revealing his tailed beast, the Black Air Force Ones. With that, Gaara was moving mad, outstyling Sasuke and having him low on garments, forcing him to use the tattoo Orochimaru gave him, hitting the Yamcha pose. Gaara, now in front of goal with an easy tap in, gets denied by Naruto. With the battle now handed over to Naruto, Gaara showed the true potential of the Black Air Force One energy, which Naruto matched in return as he whipped out a giant frog. The battle was legendary, but with both Naruto and Gaara running out of garments, both look into each other's eyes, acknowledging the pain they shared, as both were outcast for having Black Air Force energy inside them. With that, they both blushed at each other, making Sasuke conflicted as his man was cheating on him. Anyways, as a result of that battle, both parties went their separate ways, and with the third Hokage now out of commission, the whole of Konoha grieved, as a lot was lost that day. With Konoha rebuilding after Orochimaru's attack, the village was still left with no CEO. So, the majority shareholders of the village appointed the legendary designer Jiraiya, but he said nah, instead suggesting Kanye West instead. So off Jiraiya went with Naruto. However, before that, two nonchalant men entered Konoha, radiating aura from their cloaks. So Asuma and Kurenai had to ask where they got them from, only for Itachi to reveal himself alongside Kisame. Leaking their identity, they mogged the two Jonin until Kakashi had to back up his comrades, getting stuck in Itachi's genjutsu. Now trapped in this otherworldly dream, Kakashi had to watch as his whole Jordan collection got creased for 3 straight days, spiking his cortisol. With Kakashi defeated, Might Guy stepped in with that experimental fit, making them realize their main mission was to catch Naruto. After that confuffle, Sasuke visited Kakashi, who was hospitalized, but later a fellow Jonin said word about Itachi, making Sasuke froth from the mouth as he thought about the get back. Skipping on, Itachi would appear in front of Naruto until his man tried to stop him, getting caught in Itachi's Instagram live, where he replays the Alt F4 of the Uchiha clan while calling his one-piece Birkenstock bandages combo he stole from Lee corny as With the humiliation going too far, Jiraiya intercepted with the bust down rollies, blinding them so bad that they decided to escape. Now that Itachi's gone, Sasuke would head back to the Leaf, while his boyfriend would find Kanye West, making him the 5th CEO of Konoha. Arriving at the hospital, Naruto visits his boyfriend, Sasuke, bringing him flowers alongside Sakura. Things went along pretty well until Sasuke remembered something, then confronted his man why Itachi wanted him. Naruto went silent, but Sasuke was putting more pressure, escalating a fight on the roof. So they went band for band, the Air Force Ones versus the Big Pony T, only for Kakashi to intercept, but with Sasuke being nonchalant, he left as he knew he was drippier than Naruto. But then he saw the type of Air Forces he wore, the Nike Air Force One lows, off-white MCA University blues. Walking back defeated, he listened to Frank Ocean. Then his sensei came to give Sasuke a pep talk and told him that Naruto didn't cheat on him and that Itachi was just into blonde snow bunnies like him. However, this pep talk didn't get through Sasuke, as that same night, Orochimaru's associates cornered him. While Sasuke was proving that he was a prodigy, Orochimaru's associates used the tattoo they also got from him, beating Sasuke, convincing him to join, which he did. Leaving the village now, Sasuke was expecting his man to persuade him to return, but Sakura showed up, so he dipped. After Sasuke's disappearance, Tsunade was out of designers to retrieve him as the village needed them more, so she turned to the new Chunin, Shikamaru, telling him to construct a team to get Sasuke back. With that, Naruto, Neji, Choji, Kiba collectively joined up with him to get their friend back. Fighting on the verge of death, the Sanji M's appeared to help as they packed a new alliance with the Leaf, allowing them to survive another day. Moving on, Naruto now has to face Kimimaro, but luckily for him, Lee stepped in so he can get his man back. Getting close to him, he stopped, then shouting to get his attention, saying to come back home with him. Sasuke, hearing this, tells Naruto he ain't a kid no more and grew out of wearing Lightning McQueen backpacks, instead desiring designers. So they went all out, flashback for flashback, the trademark orange cloak versus the forbidden Yakuza tattoo, the university blue off-white Air Force Ones versus the Japanese exclusive number 5 Big Pony t-shirt, and in the end, they